What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 182, and we start today's episode off with a game against Chelsea here at the Den, wrapping off October. And of course, at the moment we're currently sitting top of the table, and directly below us are Chelsea. So obviously this is a bit of an early title contender clash here at the Den. Really big game, to be honest, because if we are to win the league, these are the games we need to win. We need to beat our rivals. We need to win these big games, distance ourselves from these teams, and try and get ourselves a bit of a gap at the top of the table. But we are the only unbeaten side in the league at the moment, so we sit top with 24 points after 10 games, but obviously taking on Chelsea, who you would imagine are going to be the main threat to our title contending season, will be that team in Chelsea. So we take on Mourinho's men. The first chance to game with 24th minute here, as Neymar gives it backwards, and eventually Kevin De Bruyne plays it to Ramirez. The pair player 1-2 is the Belgian playmaker who goes through one-on-one. Really good chance, but thankfully Liali makes a fantastic save, and Victor Moses can't follow up his header with a goal. It goes straight into the gloves of Liali. So still 0-0 in the 33rd minute. Another good chance here, this time to us. Carrasco goes on the break down the left hand side, chips the ball over the top towards Danny Ings. Ings gets onto it. He's got some great balance to beat three Chelsea defenders. He takes the ball round Marcelo, tries to chip it into the far corner, but it just goes wide of Lloris's far post, and it's out for a goal kick there. So still 0-0 as things stood. That was it for the first half, though. Quite an uneventful first half. In the second half, in the 54th minute, Victor Moses finds Kevin De Bruyne. He plays it back to him. Those two are linking up really nicely in this game, but Moses' shot was well saved by Liali, and it's still 0-0. And the following chance would come 5 minutes after that with a corner. Carrasco crosses the ball in, but Eric Diaz's header goes just wide the post. Or it might be Leao Gutierrez's header actually went just wide the post, and it's still 0-0. And that was how the game finished. So a goalless draw here at the Den, in a game which promised so much, it delivered so little. I've said that quite a few times on my channel of recent, but yeah, it delivered so little, unfortunately. And we had to settle for a goalless draw. I was happy with the clean sheet because Liali played quite well. He was probably man of the match in this game, made a couple of good saves, and Chelsea are a good side. But to be honest, I feel like we could have nicked a couple of goals. We had a few chances, but we'll have to take the 0-0 draw. We're still unbeaten, that's the main thing, and we are still, of course, top of the table. But after that, we had a youth squad monthly report. We've only got one player in there so far. He looks okay, and John Johannesson was disappointed he didn't play in that game. Of course, he came to us in the last episode and said, will you play us in the next game? But here's a look at the league table. 11 games in, 7 wins, 4 draws. Our goal difference is +10. We've got 25 points ahead of Chelsea, who we just played, who have 24 points. Then Liverpool with 21, City, Arsenal and Spurs all have 20 points each. They wrap off the top 6 places, so currently sitting top. I'm still not sure whether he will be challenging for the title come the end of the year, but as things stand, things look pretty good, so I guess we've got to keep the positive faith, and there you go. After that, Chile came into us and said, will you come back and manage our nation again? But we of course say no. And we also had a couple of scout reports here from our scout based in Italy and our scout based in England, but at the moment we are completely skint, so we couldn't even afford to play one of these players and put them in our youth academy at the moment because we don't have the money for it. But even so, they all look quite average, to be honest. There's only like 1 or 2 English players in there that look okay, but we're just rejecting them and continuing the scout report on a few of them. I don't think we'll be even sign any of them either anyway, because I don't think we need to worry about it so much at the moment. But even so, we reject a few of those. We continue to scouting on the rest, and we'll have to wait and see what happens after the next month of scouting. But Nyland also comes to us there and says, will you let us go out on loan in January? And I did behind the scenes add him to the loan list there. He of course was one of our first ever signings in this career mode. We signed him for about 500 grand plus David Ford. So yeah, he's came into our club, and he was the first team goalkeeper in the Championship, and then a bit for the Premier League. But since we left, I think he's always been second choice goalkeeper. You know, ever since McCarthy and McGregor came in, he's always been second choice. Now he's third choice goalkeeper behind Liali and McCarthy. So I guess we'll let him out on loan, and hopefully he can come back a better player. But after that, we had a game against Newcastle United here away at St James's Park. So on the back of the scoreless draw against Chelsea, I was looking for a few goals here away from home, and the first chance to go the game would fall here in the 2nd minute as Ermakov gets played down the left hand side. Nice little fake shot, lovely cross into the centre. It's cleared away only as far as Scott Triggs, who flicks it on. He ends up winning the challenge as well. Fake shots right around his man into the area and puts the ball past the goalkeeper. So the man with no legs, wearing his patented trousers there, makes a fantastic finish into the back of the net. No chance for Rob Elliott, and it's Newcastle 0, Millwall 1. So great start for us here at St James's Park as we take the lead through Scott Triggs. And after playing 90 minutes with no goals in the Chelsea game, I was glad it took just 2 minutes to score a goal here. But in the 40th minute, it could have been 2-0. Carrasco roulettes past his man and takes aim. Like an idiot, I finessed it instead of powering it. I think if I would have powered that shot, it might have gone in, but instead I finessed it. And Rob Elliott had quite a simple save, so it's still 1-0. And in the 56th minute here, Eric Dier gets on the ball and finds Junior Malanda. It's played out wide towards Danilo, our right back. He slides it through towards Ermakov. He crosses the ball in, picks out Danny Ings, and Ings heads it past Rob Elliott, who was stranded in no man's land. And Ings makes it Newcastle 0, Millwall 2. So 57 minutes in, we double our advantage here, and as things stood, it looked like it was going to be a long afternoon for Newcastle. And in the 69th minute, or 67th minute actually, could have got even worse for Newcastle. We have a free kick here. I'm standing over it with Eric Dier. I was thinking about giving it to Kelvin and doing one of those swinging it into Eric Dier free kicks like I did in the last episode where we scored from, but instead I decided to try and smash it across the face of goal, see if I can cause some panic, and I did, because it smacks off Leao Gutierrez. It hits Rob Elliott, it then hits the Newcastle defender and trickles over the line into the back of the net. So Newcastle 0, Millwall 3. It's Gutierrez who claims it, but as you'll see by the replay, he has no reason to, because it certainly wasn't his goal. It was definitely an own goal. A fun fact for you, Gutierrez actually got his first career goal here at Newcastle at St James's Park, so that's a fun fact for you. But I don't think he can really claim this goal, but he does so anyway, and that makes it Newcastle 0, Millwall 3. So a bit of nostalgia for you there. But even so, 3-0 to Millwall, and in the 74th minute, we could have made it 4-0 here. The ball gets played out towards Todd Kane. Kane flicks it on towards Danny Ings. He beats Tavernier, goes through 1-on-1. Really good chance, but unfortunately the shot is well saved by Rob Elliott, and it's still 3-0. So that would have capped off the game at 4-0, but still 3-0. But if anyone was going to score that fourth goal, it was going to be us. Newcastle didn't threaten at all, and as Catamol wins his header here, it comes to Danilo. We strike it on the half volley, but Rob Elliott makes a good save, and it's still 3-0. So it would have been funny to say this, but I think a man of the match for Newcastle's point of view would have been Rob Elliott in this game. He was doing everything he could to keep them in the game, but still, Newcastle 0, Millwall 3, a very dominant performance. We do collect the 3 points. Very nice to keep a clean sheet again, and yeah, a 3-0 victory after that goalless draw against Chelsea. I was so glad to have scored just one goal, but to get 3 was very nice indeed, and yeah, it's a very good win for us there away at Newcastle. And the following game was going to be against Southampton here in midweek, so we made a few changes coming into this game. Michael Ngu would start, John Johansson would start, Todd Kane would start, so a few changes, but for the majority of the players it was the same team. I mean, the stamina of this squad is quite good, to be honest, because at Spurs I regularly had to change the team, but with Millwall they've got some very high stamina players in this team, so it's quite nice to know that even in the midweek games I can not have to change all the players around. But we take on Southampton. They're currently sitting in 9th place. We're of course top of the table by 3 points, so here at the Den I'd feel very confident of another 3 points, and you'd certainly be putting on the money for us to win the game here as we take on Mauricio Pochettino's men. But they've still got a few good players in there, such as Lallana and Carrillo and Ward-Prowse, but it was Southampton who had the first chance of the game here in the 11th minute as Seferovic gets played down the right hand side here. He takes on Gutierrez, he slices the ball forward towards Kim, really good chance, but Liani makes a very good save at his near post and keeps the score at 0-0. He's been a great signing for us, he really has been making some very good saves for us, and he was looking for 3 clean sheets in a row here. But in the 17th minute, Southampton give the ball away. Yoshida gives it straight to Ermakov. He rounds the goalkeeper, but I took the ball just a bit too far of the goalkeeper. I cross it towards the far post, and Carrasco's volley is blocked and put behind for a corner. So still 0-0. Couldn't make the advantage pay there, but from the corner it's crossed in by Carrasco, and the header by Ngu hits the bar, and it's cleared away by Southampton. So some very good early chances for both sides, but unfortunately it was still 0-0. And from the throw in, it's Carrasco who stands over it. He eventually gives it to Luke Shaw, the former Southampton left back. Back to Carrasco. Fake shots around Chambers. Swings in across towards Michael Ngu. The goalkeeper flaps at it, and John Johansson fluffs his lines and blazes the shot miles over the bar. So still Millwall 0, Southampton 0, and we just couldn't find a breakthrough despite all the early chances. From the goal kick, it's cleared upfield towards Seferovic. He ends up flicking the ball on towards Carrillo. Gets onto the ball here. Tries to play it backwards, but instead he gets lucky with a deflection. Plays it over the top towards Adam Lallana. Lallana gets onto it and takes the finish really well. Drills it past Liali and makes it Millwall 0, Southampton 1. So the away side take a shock lead here, and after all of our chances, unfortunately we couldn't make them pay, and Southampton did indeed make us pay because it was 1-0 to the away side. But in the 25th minute, a good chance for us to respond here. We crossed the ball in towards the centre, but Ermakov's header is well saved by the goalkeeper. Then Ngu's shot is blocked, and I thought we could have had a penalty there as Ngu went tumbling to the floor, but instead it was no penalty given, and it was still 1-0 to the away side. But in the 35th minute here, John Johansson gets past Britton here, who we gave to Southampton in exchange for Luke Shaw. He gets around surrounding with the Berber spin, keeps on going, takes aim, the shot hits the post, but thankfully for us it falls to the one man you'd want it to fall to. That's Brian Carrasco. He puts the ball into the empty net and makes it Millwall 1, Southampton 1. So Carrasco levels the game here with just under 36 minutes played. Very good finish, but it was an open goal really. But even so, it's Millwall 1, Southampton 1, and we're back on level terms in the 44th minute. A good chance for us to double our goal tally here. Todd Kane finds Ermakov, and this is a wonderful take by Ermakov. Absolutely fantastic. It's a great ball by Todd Kane, no doubt about it, but the finish is fantastic. He rounds the goalkeeper, and then he dinks it past him into the empty net to make it Millwall 2, Southampton 1. In the 56th minute, a good chance for Southampton to get themselves back on level terms though, as I give the ball away with Gutierrez. It's crossed into the box by Carrillo towards Seferovic, but Liali makes a fantastic save and we keep the score at 2-1. But I give the ball away only as far as Morgan Schneidlin, one of the most underrated players in the league, but he hits the post with the volley and it goes into the gloves of Liali eventually, and it's still 2-1. But in the 71st minute here, Southampton were trying to get themselves back on level terms, but as they give the ball away, Michael Ngou intercepts Morgan Schneidlin. The Frenchman can't keep up with Ngou. He's running down the right hand side. He picks out Ermakov. Great chance for him to double his goals tally, rounds the goalkeeper, but this time I don't get a finish right and it goes into the side net. But it wouldn't matter because the game did finish 2-1. Ermakov's fantastic in this game, but yeah, we won the game by 2-1. We get the 3 points and I was very pleased with that. Fantastic win against a very hard fought Southampton side, but very pleased to get the 3 points, and yeah, that was how the game finished at 2-1. But as always guys, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the video, please leave a like and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.
And until next time.